So I had a situation come up this week with a certain OEM, and I won't mention who it is, but they're insisting that all their stores spend money on non-vehicle ad campaigns to the tune of like double what their budgets should rightfully be. And I'm not sure what the data is to back that up, other than that's just what you think they should spend, because it doesn't make sense. Like the performance, this one store that I'm dealing with this right now on, all their campaigns they're like oversaturated and their model and make and brand campaigns, they're top of the impression share. There's not a ton of overlap. They're dominant in their results for vehicle ads and non-vehicle ad search campaigns. But this manufacturer is insisting they spend, and I'm not kidding, double the amount of money they're spending right now, which I can't, it just doesn't make any sense. And when I ask about the data behind it, it's just, well, this is what they said we should be spending, is what the people representatives of the manufacturer tell me. And I'm like, well, but based on what? Like, that's not the most efficient way to spend their money. You're not even taking into account vehicle ads. And the response was, well, no, we don't take into account vehicle ads. Well, why not? Like, that's the primary driver of traffic. Now, I mean, I guess there's something to be said for the quality of the traffic if you don't have any AdWords exclusions or any kind of settings in there, like IP address exclusion, game app exclusion, stuff like that. Yeah, okay, well then the quality does go down. But if you've got all your exclusions and your settings set up correctly, that traffic can be very valuable. And when the CPC is like a fraction of what a maker model campaign is, I mean, why wouldn't you want to include vehicle ads in that, suggested budget? I just think it's really wrong to guide stores who maybe don't have a proactive digital advertising representative. I mean, that just want to take your money and, and up your budget. But I don't know, I'm of the kind of mindset that I want to have the most efficient spend for my budget for each of my stores. So we're going to go down that rabbit hole and we're going to explore what happens when we double the budget. And I don't know that we're going to do it for more than a month, but I know we're going to point back to it and be like, okay, well, we did it your way and we saw no greater results than what we're seeing. So now what? Because it's not sustainable, right? I mean, it's January in the car business. Nobody's doubling their budget. I mean, that's just a ridiculous notion. So nobody's talking about raising their budgets whatsoever until about March. But I mean, that's what we're going to do. The sales aren't going to go up. It's definitely not going to...
Police reported ahead.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to move the needle like they keep saying it's going to move the needle. But again, they're just saying it's going to, this is what you should, it's not even that they're saying it's going to move the needle. They're just saying this is what you should be spending. That's like the weirdest part about it. So I'm hoping that, by us increasing this, and then at the end of it, the other side of this showing, okay, well, we did what you asked us to do, and we really saw no wonderful, amazing, fantastic increase in either traffic or sales, that they back off of it for a bit. But it's kind of odd to me that if you're going to mandate that your stores spend X amount of dollars, I'd like to see the math. Like, that's just me. Maybe I'm just nosy and curious, but I want to see how you're getting to that recommendation. And what are you including and not including? Which they were kind enough to show me what they were including and not including. That's how I figured out they're not including VAs in that, which, again, is utterly ridiculous. I don't have a single store that's not running a vehicle ads campaign right now. In fact, I have a couple of stores that's all that they're running right now are vehicle ads campaigns. That's it. Because they don't have the extra budget to spend and throw out the window. They're trying to maximize the efficiency of their spend. And if the CPC is 11 to even 34 cents as opposed to a $3 CPC, even a $1.50 CPC, anything higher than that, I mean, my most bang for my buck that I'm going to get is vehicle ads. So I really challenge, if you have an OEM, if you're a part of this manufacturer that is giving you mandates on what you should spend and should not spend in ditch ad, ask why. Ask where that data is coming from. Ask who's done that, other stores that have done that in your area, and what were the results when they have done that. So I think we need to start, pushing back and asking those real questions. A, and B, I think the manufacturer needs to start listening. I think it would, the only thing you succeed in doing by not including vehicle ads in those suggestions is making it look like your suggestions are very outdated. That's the only thing that came across my mind, is when were these recommendations, when was this plan put together? Like 5 years ago? Because 5 years ago, I might have agreed with you, but now, nope. The attention span of a shopper gets shorter and shorter every year, and rightfully so. There's so much data and so many ads and so much intake for them to have content-wise. That's why their attention span gets shorter and shorter. So a model campaign that puts a customer on the homepage or on the SRP, or a make campaign for brand that puts them in on the service page, or whatever. You have, it used to be, we said, well, we have 4 to 5 clicks. Now you have 2 to 3 clicks to get them where they need to be to interact with your website and get some form of two-way communication going. So the longer we delay that, or the further out we put them away from those CTAs, i.e. the VDP pages, the less likely they are to get down into the page and really enhance the stickiness of our site, which is what we want to happen. We want them to stay. We want them to click into a CTA and fill out a form and start a chat, or start the digital retailing process, call us, something, interact with us, And a lot of people put a lot of focus on time on site, and really the vehicle ads have kind of made that metric not the most important metric anymore. But the stickiness still matters, right? The getting them to the point where they interact with us at some way, shape, or form that allows us the two-way communication. That's still what we want. That's still the end game, regardless of the time on site. Anyway, so that's my challenge for this week, is go back to your manufacturer. If your manufacturer is one of the ones that's calculating your campaigns and not putting your vehicle ads in that calculation, ask them why. And ask them to show you stores that have taken their recommendations, and what were the results. Did their cost per sale, did their sales improve? Did their cost per sales improve? Things like that. Those are hard questions that some of these manufacturers really need to review and take into consideration when making these recommendations, especially in Q1 of the calendar year in the car business. That's like the worst time to tell dealerships to raise their marketing budgets. No one wants to do that right now. Anyway, I already said that. That's all I got for this week. Happy selling.